Dogs make the best companions for humans. This podcast aims to help make humans better companions for their dogs. Welcome to the Baru Podcast, a modern lifestyle podcast for dogs and their people. I'm your host, Charlotte Bain. I've been caring for other people's dogs for more than 15 years. And while I've learned a lot in my career, I definitely don't know it all. So I've collected an ever-evolving roster of amazing dog people, and I learn new things from them all the time. Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Baru Podcast. In today's episode, I jump behind the brand with Jane Wagman, co-owner of Pride and Groom. We chat about the vision for this fast-growing beauty brand for dogs and the great work that they do for animal rescue. Not to mention how they made Oprah's list of favorite things only a few months after launching in 2020. So let's listen. Thanks for doing this with me.
Oh, thank you.
I've been following your product since I think it launched in during the pandemic, right? In
yes, 2020. It did.
So first I wanted to jump in and just talk a little bit about you and what was the inspiration behind a little bit about your background and the inspiration behind Pride and Groom and your love of dogs.
Well, I definitely have a huge love of dogs. Yeah. I have 4 of them.
Oh my gosh.
And I sit on the board of Animal Haven, a shelter here in New York City. And so it's really become a very important part of my life. My background is in graphic design. Okay. I started out in magazines. I went to art school. I started out in magazines in the art department. And then I left to start my own design firm when I had children and kind of was, just trying to do it all.
Yeah.
Which was great. And I did that for many, 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 and many more years. And then just with this, just life changing and my new kind of renowned, passion for dogs, I really, really wanted to do something in the dog space. And I could not come up with it. And I have one of my partners and also friends, Regina, she felt the same way. She has 2 shelter dogs.
Right.
And we were just constantly going my phone would ring and it would be like, well, what do you think of this? And, and we were constantly like, no, not quite right. And then one day she calls me up and she's like, I got it. We're going to be the Vidal Sassoon for dog shampoo. Okay. For the younger people, they might not know what that means. But
we weren't raised in the 70s. You may not know what
exactly. You might not know. But, so basically let's be the gold standard for dog shampoo.
Right.
And I was like, yes, I am in, full in. And she said, and I have 2 other people who I think would be the perfect partners for us.
Wow.
And the 4 of us, got together and started brainstorming, and that's kind of how it happened.
And it kind of launched from there. So had the clean beauty aspect come into it, because that's what makes your product stand out, I think, from a lot of people's, is your commitment to, to using only essential oils and things that have been trusted to be non-toxic, essentially, right?
Yes. Well, I think part of what, when we first got together, we started talking, we were like, what do you wash your dog with? And what do you wash your dog with? And let's all ask all our friends what they wash their dogs with. And no one had a go-to. We're all so brand loyal. I use the same shampoo, use the same soap, I use the same paper towel. We're all so brand loyal.
It's so
They were like, I don't know. I think it's a white bottle. I think it's a pink bottle. I use Dawn. I use my human shampoo. I use Aesop's for dogs. I use Burt's Bees for dogs. We could not get an answer, we couldn't even put it in pockets. It was no one had, and so we started to realize that kind of this humanization of pets and dogs in particular has really it kind of every part of the market, food, everyone's they're making their own food. They're getting these, all these homemade dog foods, there's supplements, the fashion, every single fashion house, high to low, has we could wear the same clothing.
Right.
But we just didn't feel like it had touched hair care. The best we could find were kind of these human extension brands. And we were like, well, they're not they're human brands. They don't know, they're not doing yes, they're clean for humans, but they're not doing the research for dogs have different pH balances. They have completely different needs. They have different sweat glands. Everything really about their makeup is different. And just like the way you and I might use different shampoos because one might be dry, one might be oily. Right. Dogs have, if they have fur versus hair, if they have undercoats,
totally.
There's so many
allergies,
exactly allergies. And so we really felt like that was a hole in the market, and that we wanted to be kind of, instead of like Aesop for dogs, we wanted to be Pride and Groom for dogs, a dog brand made for dogs with what their needs in mind.
Right. So from an entrepreneurial perspective, like you have this concept, right? You want to get into the dog business, you want to make products that are great for our dogs. Like, how do you figure out, like, for people out there listening, because I think everybody has an idea that they kind of want to like, every dog lover is like, I got to get into this. Like, if only I could think of a great product that would really help my dog, and I could stand behind. What was the next step in that? You joined forces with your partner.
I feel having good partners is so key. I mean, I've had a lot of, successful, unsuccessful entrepreneurial ventures in my life. And so much of it comes down to your partners. And I feel extremely fortunate because it was sort of, it was a little bit of a leap of faith. And just, together, we just, started doing tons and tons of research. One of my partners, Patricia, is a chemical engineer.
Okay. So that helps. Yeah.
She really, took the reins on that. And because we really wanted to be kind of this beauty brand for dogs, we went to a beauty lab nearby. We're in New York City, all of us. And so we went to a lab in New Jersey because we really wanted to be able to stay on top of it. And we didn't want to just white label some product. Like we really, and so we went with this research in hand of these are the ingredients that we think are beneficial. These are the ones we definitely don't want to see in the product. And you just sort of start going from there, getting the samples, testing it on our dog. I mean, between us, we had 7 dogs to test on.
Yeah. So, and then you just kind of follow what the dog says. The dog's like, no, I don't like this.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's great. So so I know you guys launched during the pandemic. Was that challenging? I mean, obviously you didn't expect or was that beneficial because everybody got a dog during the pandemic? Well, yeah. I could have gone either way, right?
Exactly. So, I mean, that, obviously it delayed us. We were all kind of sitting there twiddling our thumbs because we couldn't get our products in time.
Right.
Because of the supply chain, blah, blah. Yeah. So boring. But anyway, that was real. But and we really did think, oh my God, what are we going to do? It's a pandemic. And then we realized, like you said, everyone got dogs at home. Everyone was washing their dogs at home. Everyone was doing everything. And I couldn't buy nail clippers on Amazon were back ordered for months. So this kind of learning curve that we thought we were going to have to do a lot of education, we actually didn't. Right. And so, I think in a way, actually, it was kind of great.
Right.
People were looking for our product.
And then you kind of landed in, how did you get on Oprah's list of?
I mean, that top. Was just, literally a month after launching, we had, 150 bottles of each SKU. It was we're just going to send it to our friends and family, see what people think. And maybe we need to recreate it. We don't know. Yeah. Regina, again, this partner I mentioned, she and I met at Vogue. In our earlier career. She was in fashion, I was in art. But anyway, so we both sort of knew Adam Glassman, who's Oprah's creative director and right-hand man. And one night, literally a month after launching, Regina's like, you know what? I'm just going to DM him. Who knows? He can ignore me. And literally within 30 seconds, he writes her back and he's like, this is the craziest thing. Oprah's looking for a new dog shampoo. She hates the way her dogs smell. Overnight it to me. The list is about to close. Yeah. Overnight it to me. And, we did. And literally Regina was chasing the FedEx truck down the highway because she was so afraid of missing that last shipment. and, he literally, like, within days, he said, Oprah absolutely loves it, and you're in, and the list is closed, and you're the last item. And it was,
oh my gosh,
obviously, like, catapulted us. I mean, the good news is that this was August. The list doesn't come out till November. So we had, so we had 3 months to, you have, like, the whole list is run through Amazon. So we have to get on Amazon. We had to produce enormous quantities of product.
Right.
I mean, it's really
you're anticipating the Oprah craze would do
and
to your
if
product.
and there's a lot, like, you can read a lot about it. Like, to be on her list and not be prepared for it is like such a waste of an amazing opportunity, and not have the product and not be able to ship it out.
Right.
So we really, we're just kind of like, boots on the ground, and got it. You have to get your website up, ready, not up, it's up, ready, so it doesn't crash the day the list hits. I mean, there are just so many little things you don't even think of, but it was obviously humongous, and it led to so many amazing opportunities. I mean, we are eternally grateful. I mean, literally, it just snowballed from there, and so much press and TV appearances, and it was really amazing.
That's great. So it was kind of like divine timing there. So it really did work. So her being on Oprah's list really did work.
Like 100% it worked. It really worked. Yes. It was great. I mean, it also just, it opened so many doors, but also, like, she publishes her list and everyone picks it up. It's just, it's interesting in this world we live in now, where, like, it used to be like, oh, you get a placement in a magazine and, your sales spike. But now it's like, there's so much noise.
Yeah, there's so much.
It's really hard to figure out, with a new business, like, where do you go? Who should promote it? Who should, like, what's going to move the needle? And it's fascinating to me how much Oprah resonates with people. I mean, people really, really trust her and love her.
Yeah. I mean, she's built a whole.
I know. I mean, I do.
Her whole life around that.
Yeah, people really, it's true. It's all true.
Yeah. That's great. You do a lot with animal rescue, and some of your product, the One for All product, is the one that part of the proceeds from that product go to animal rescue. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Actually, when we first started, we were like, a percentage of proceeds are going to go to animal welfare. And, just very immediately kind of, we realized that we wanted to be more of a like a Tom's or a Caddis approach. Yeah. Where we actually donate physical product. So we created a SKU called the One for All, which is a conditioner and shampoo in one. We only make it in big gallon sizes, and we do not sell it. We donate it exclusively to shelters, and we're constantly, we don't really host an event where we're not donating to a shelter. We always bring a shelter. Yeah. And we have, our customers can nominate their shelters, and we have sponsored dogs from adoption to their forever home. Some dogs have never been touched before, and their bath in the shelter is the first time they've ever been touched. And so we just, wanted to help make it a positive experience. And we, like, just actually 2 days ago, we went into Animal Haven, the shelter in New York City. And we washed like 10 puppies that were like, it was so cute. They were so stinky. Yeah. They had just come in from from the hurricane in Florida. They were all just brought to New York City, and they were all like all nervous and so cute. Yeah. And we put them all like in the bed bath and washed them all. And, it helps them get adopted.
Absolutely. And it's also good for their health and wellness.
Yeah. And it's obviously
so you got to play an integral part in that. That's great. That's great. So moving forward with Pride and Groom, do you have a vision for how you want to grow Pride and Groom, or moving into any other dog health and beauty related?
Well, because it's everything is such a saturated market, but we really, you want to like kind of maintain your elevator pitch. You don't really ever want to lose kind of your focus. So we really are trying to we'd love to like own beauty and grooming, and so we're constantly coming up with new SKUs in that market. I mean, actually, this is my favorite product. I mean, it just happened to me. You can't see it because it's a podcast, but I'm just showing
we can talk about it.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, this is always on my desk. Like I use it nonstop. It's a balm for dogs' paws and snouts and dry areas, but it's so good and nurturing. I'm like, I sit at my desk. I'm like putting it on my cuticles. I'm like, on my elbows. Like,
is it like shea butter? Like what's it made out of?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, amazing, nurturing, healing ingredients. So, we just came out with a bath brush. We would love to do supplements, but for skin and coat. Yeah. Right. Like we want to stay in our lane. We're working on new towel. We want, a fragrance-free shampoo. I mean, it's kind of endless, like the things that we could do in our lane. Yeah. And I mean, even though obviously like the Oprah thing was phenomenal and we've had, a huge amount of success, there's still so many more places to go. Like when we started, we really, because we were like, we wanted to kind of be high end and kind of establish ourselves as kind of the gold standard. We went for, we went for like Bloomingdale's, Neiman's, Nordstrom's, Macy's, Selfridges in London. I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but like those kind of stores. Right. But those are amazing. And they're really like a seal of approval. But like how many bottles of shampoo are you going to sell at like we're really now.
Yeah, people don't go to those stores thinking that they're going to provide.
Of course, we're doing great in those stores. Yeah. But that's not where you're going to do the bulk of your sales. So, now we're sort of, because we have done that, we feel like that kind of establishes us. We're really moving into big box. And we have a huge deal with Pet Supplies Plus, who we worship, who are one of the biggest retailers in the United States and biggest groomers. They groom like 1 million dogs a year. And
oh my gosh! So they provide product to like grooming facilities, or they
have grooming facilities, and they have self-wash stations. So we created for them these little like mini packets, like 2 ounces of shampoo, 2 ounces of conditioner, and then a little refreshing spray, and people can buy the packet and then go to the self-wash station and wash their dog.
That's great.
So anyway, we're just kind of constantly pivoting and figuring out, where we need to go. And so, I mean, there's so much more we want to do. Yeah. But it's all fun.
Yeah. You're having a good time.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite thing to say is that like, we were like, can you believe that we created a business where we get to talk about dogs all day long?
I know. Well, yeah, me too. I know. Isn't that fun? Do you get to spend more time with your own dogs?
Well, I mean, that's a pandemic thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Still sitting at home with my dogs, which they love.
Yeah.
But yes. I mean, like I'm doing an event tomorrow. I'm going to be at Neiman Marcus all day long. And I'm bringing one of my dogs. Not all of them, because that would be a little unwieldy.
Can we talk? Can we be a little dog? Yeah. Can we talk about your dogs a little bit?
Yes.
What kind of doggos do you have?
So I have 2 doodle mixes. Wait, I see one that I think wants to go to the bathroom. I closed her out of it. This is one of them. This was a COVID rescue.
Oh, hi.
Waffles.
Let's see, Waffles. Cute.
Yeah.
Is Waffles a mix?
Yeah. Waffles is mostly chi, but she's got some other things in her, and I don't know. Yeah. So I have two chi mixes, and then 2 poodle mixes.
Cute. And they were all rescues, or just the chi mixes?
They weren't all rescues. No, the other ones were before I got into animal rescue.
Right. How long have you been in animal? Was animal rescue before you? Because I know you do work with what's it called? Animal Haven in Soho, right? Was that before Pride and Groom? Or
yes.
Okay.
That being involved in Animal Haven was part of the desire to do something in the dog space. I got just super passionate about it and just was like, what can I do? What can I do in the dog space? I love it so much. And I realized that was just really where I wanted to move.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for like people who want to get into building or taking their concept of working with in the animal space into fruition? Do you have any advice, like entrepreneur wise?
I mean, listen, the pet industry is like the fastest growing retail segment. I mean, it's a $120 billion industry. 70% of homes in the United States own a pet.
Yeah.
So, it's certainly like, it's an amazing industry. And like we just said, it's really fun.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything unique, in terms of being an entrepreneur, like having worked in other industries and started other companies. The obstacles are the same. It's having a clear vision. It's the money. It's producing a good product. It's, execution is so much of anything. So many people always not about this, but just, I do it too. I'm like, oh, I had that idea. It's like, yeah, but you didn't do it.
You didn't fall through.
So I think it's really like just kind of general entrepreneurship stuff. It's, you always need more money than you think you're going to need. How do you break through the noise? Things we've been talking about. How do you market it? Doing your research. I mean, there are a lot of, for the pet industry specifically, there's so many amazing trade shows and expos that, like we walked kind of all of them before in the year while we were in doing new concept and research and development and, just seeing what else is out there. And
making sure you see if your idea is out there and if your idea is out there, how's it doing, and kind of see what your competition is, but maybe don't take the competition part too much to heart, because there's,
it's sort of, I don't know, when people do similar to things what we're doing, I'm like, that just validates what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. There's that old thing, like how many white t-shirts can a brand make? Yeah.
Exactly. And I still can't find the perfect one.
Yeah.
So can someone else make another one?
Right. Exactly. Either they're too thin or they're too...
exactly.
All the things. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I really appreciate you jumping on and doing this with me.
Oh, thanks for asking. It's so fun.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Baru Podcast. And if you and your pup want to check out the yummy smelling Pride and Groom products for yourself, there's a link in the show notes, especially for Baru listeners. And as always, if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to rate and follow the Baru wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow us on Instagram @BaruPet. All right, you guys, let's chat next week.